Today, we will be obtaining the relevant board support package layers, which will serve as the foundation for our recipe. We will also be making a meter flutter mix, which we will add to the batter just to give a modern tang to this traditional recipe. The next step will be to bit bake our Linux distribution until it has a perfect crust. And obviously, we have to test it afterwards, plus quad module installed in a Dahlia carrier board. The carrier board provides us with access to the feature. As you can see, we have a touch display connected to the board using HDMI and USB for touch. Luckily, Toradex provides us with good documentation on this topic. A board support package is a software bundle that makes sure an operating system works smoothly on our specific hardware by providing essential drivers and configurations. I'll include the link in the description for you to check out. So, prerequisites. Make sure you have a decent machine to build on, and also a decent internet connection goes a long way. And make sure you are running one of the supported Linux distributions. Here's a list. You can read all that yourself. Also, the Yocto build dependencies. But after you've got all that set up, the next step is to install the Git and repo tools. I'm not going to be getting into these. You can find the instructions here. I already have it installed. The next step is to run these commands. Yeah, we can run this one, repo sync. So, the next step, okay, we need to clone it into the correct directory. If we go to, you can see here that now here we have Meter Flutter along with everything else that the repo tool has downloaded. If you want to, you can modify the source code of the initial Git repository that I showed you to download this Meter Flutter layer as well, but that would be for your own personal project, and we won't be doing that here today. Now is also a good time to point out that Meter Flutter does have some breaking changes from time to time, and if you do run into them, just report them to the maintainers on GitHub, and also look through the issues. Maybe it's already being worked on or already solved. Our next step is to head over to this directory just to stir out a few lumps. So, in this directory here, we're going to have a few files. The first one is this bitbakelayers.conf, and we want to go ahead and edit this one. I'm going to go to the bottom, and then I'm going to add a line here. I have it on copy. So this is going to add the Meter Flutter layer, which we just cloned, and we'll tell Yocto to include this. So let's go here, yes, and there we go. The next file we want to edit is this local.conf. There we go. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and then I also have the on copy here, and here we go. So I just added this part. First off, it's a very good idea to use a fixed Flutter SDK tag. Make sure to match this to what you have on your host machine. Otherwise, yeah, you'll get an error. But whatever you want to use here, put that in. And then the next part is to have all this. I'm just going to include the Flutter gallery here, and also I'm going to be using FlutterPy. Feel free to use any of the other embedders available with Meter Flutter. Yeah, and then here at the bottom, it's always a good idea to include this just so when the display isn't working, at least you can debug it, you know. Yeah, so now we have this configured, and let's go ahead and save it. Yes, and there we go. Back to the Toradex Yocto documentation. I believe this is where we left off. I see we have to make another modification to the local.conf file. We need to set the machine. So we're using the Verdon imx8m plus. That is the one we are using. Yes, seems to be correct. So let us save this. Yes, and now we should be good to go. Yeah, here we are back. Let's just make sure we run this again. You can run this .export at any time in the base directory, just to make sure, and it will take you to the build directory. And then you should be ready to build an image. Okay, so here we have the reference minimal image. I believe that is the one we want to be building. So what we are going to do is bitbake, and then let us find this minimal image is what we want. And there we go, to find a place to plug it in. And there we go. I'm going to select the image that we just created, and then we will install. Yes, we do want to install. I accept. There we go. Here it says reboot. Go with reboot. You'll need a serial console. I'm going to plug in order to connect to the board, or you could use SSH if you want to. And then I'm going to start up boot term. You can use any serial console, but this is just my serial console of choice. Okay, there we go, and it has connected. Let's just reboot here. There we go. Okay, so this is wonderful news. It's booting. Yeah. Okay, so you can remove the drive. The login should be root. Okay. Go into the root directory. So now we need to find the Flutter gallery app. That will depend on where Beta Flutter has placed it. This is the directory we were looking for. So now we're going to point Flutter Pi towards this directory. Then we just say, this is the folder that contains the gallery apps. And to look at that, our Verdon seems to be fluttering. This is all the normal stuff. This is Flutter Gallery. If you haven't played around with it, feel free to do so. But yeah,